Hey, what's up, community? How's everything doing? Um, yeah, it's SmartCon. Instead of me doing a quick introduction as to everything, I would like to have this conversation with Felix. Hey, Felix, why don't you jump behind the scenes? He's like the producer. He was saying me like three, two, one, go, and I was like, okay. And you all know very well Felix, so he was also in the smart gun. So instead of me telling you what's up, look at him, look at him. Okay, like, I mean, by the director of the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. I was supposed to be in the background, but here we are.
Yeah, amazing. Come on, we built this community together. So why don't we do that? I'll do the producing stuff today, and then I'll talk about some of the cool things that are happening behind the scenes of Chaining because we did learn a lot. But yeah, you were there for understanding what is the scope of Chainlink, what happened with Brickken. Why don't you give us a quick update as to how you saw everything?
But personally, I was extremely excited. I mean, all of you guys pretty much already know by now that I'm a big Channing fan. So them coming to Barcelona, the whole team getting invited, and Edwin getting a few speaking opportunities as well. I was super excited about it. And I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I loved it. It was a very good event. A lot of interesting people. I got to meet Sergey Nazarov, so I'm pretty happy about that. My own selfie with him. But as far as the narrative go or went within the actual conference, I was surprised actually because I mean we're already dealing with Chainlink from price feed real asset perspective, and we have seen the space growing a lot this year. But I mean it was a pretty much the dominating conversation across the whole conference. I mean, wouldn't you agree, Edwin? Like it's the only thing everybody talked to, and how their applications in the form of price feeds or CCIP, BRFs. I mean, how all of that relates to real world asset tokenization, and it was a dominating category, really. So I was very excited to see that. Met some very interesting people, got some good connections, and yeah, let's see what they bring into the future. But I definitely think there's a few partnerships out there that we can capitalize on. Who knows? But
Yeah, you should share your picture with Sergey Nazarov. Yeah.
I'm gonna share it afterwards. I'm super happy about it.
Let's NFT it and give it to the community. Felix and Sergey. I also saw Sergey, but he's a interesting person. Let's call it like that. Why not? But yeah, okay. So you've been to a couple events already, especially the ones in Barcelona. Did you see a difference or a trend in difference between last year and this year? How do you see the space? Because I am gonna say something after your answer because I did spot the difference. So where was Wally this year? What was the main difference between last couple of months, years between the changing one?
I would say that the dominating feeling of the whole event was more focused. I mean, previous events has been, especially 2 years ago, has been very bullish. Everybody, talking about the grand things and super expectant about the future. But these past events I've been doing has been very focused on the actual products, what's being built, uh, you know, uh, building collaborations. I don't know, more serious, I guess. That's just been my sensation.
Yeah, series for me means corporate. It is but people in suits who they actually from banks who I know here from Spain from back in the day, and they were like, I don't feel that weird anymore here wearing suits. And I was like, yeah, you're actually right. Actually, my first day actually went with a shirt. I haven't worn a shirt, so I did a keynote. But I was like, I saw a couple of the speakers from like Swift, BBA, big players in the fintech banking. Even there was like I think the Ministry of I don't know if it was innovation of something out of Hong Kong. So there was like so what I saw is that we're no longer in the stage of where's my Lambo, like when Lambo, but more about like Where can I get my payment getaway to make an international wire and transferring that is gonna cost me zero? Like what the questions are no more about like shield me your NFT, but more like, hey, how you building? How's the space? What you doing? So for me, these events, I mean, the first ones, they were always fun because yeah, like it's fun. Why not? But then again, when you're building, you want to have this access to these kind of players and have more meaningful conversations because I don't want to talk about the floor price of my NFT. What I want to talk about what you're building, how can I get this spot. So I saw a lot of partnerships going on. So we came out with a lot of potential even clients, potential investors at a bigger stage. So yeah, that was my perspective. So
Brilliant.
Felix, another question: what was your favorite side event? No, just kidding, just kidding. Now, okay. So from a marketing perspective, what are your three main takeaways from these 2 days at SmartCon?
My three main takeaways from a marketing perspective. Um, Good question. I mean, I think there's, yeah, how do we approach this question?
From
I'd say the partnerships was a big contributing factor, especially from our perspective. I mean, the people we talked to, just like you said before, there wasn't as much, NFTs or when Lambo and hyping calls. It was more substance. So everybody you got to meet actually had something to contribute, and all the projects you saw actually had traction. So from there, I think we have the potential of creating much more meaningful collaborations out of those discussions that we had, as opposed to being, what you may see at some events where it doesn't really lead anywhere. Uh, Also, from a community perspective, I met some very interesting community managers. We talked to the L Toads, for example. I'm
yeah,
actually. Can you mute your mic when I talk? I think it's
of
a double sound.
course.
Yeah. So, for example, we met the L Toads last Saturday. They are like an affiliate or a sub community of Chainlink, and met some very interesting people there. Actually, me and one of our business developers are having a talk with them next week. We're going to invite to speak to them. So just more substance in the quality of partnerships, just more clear directions in where the community should focus on. It's no longer, pump it up and when Lambo, but let's focus on what we're building. Let's focus on actually displaying it, making sure that you guys, the community, for example, get to test our demo version to see what it is we actually have. And when the day comes where the market changes, let's take it then. But then we also already have the substance of everybody being educated, what we built, and all of us sharing the same values and being aligned on how we look how we look at the future of tokenized assets.
Amazing. So what is the I'm just gonna make a joke, but I shouldn't make that joke in public because I would be like, "Oh, she's shilling the BK," and I was gonna say, "When are we gonna hit €1 then?" So to add on that, I gotta say, like, obviously during the past couple of months, especially the tokenization world has been trending, and there's people trying to understand the space, and especially when you're a newcomer and you have no clue, you need to have like a floor, kind of like, okay, I can go against this, kind of like if I go, I don't know, if I want a burger, I understand that the minimum quality is McDonald's, right? And then you have higher tiers and whatnot. So, but I have an imagination as to how a hamburger looks and how to get one. Intokenization is very ephemeral. Like I don't know how it looks. I don't know what the digitization of an asset. I don't know anything, but I just know this word. So for us, it's quite significant that we can approach these events and show them our product, our clients, and everything, because they kind of like becomes the floor. So that's kind of like the trick that we're trying to accomplish here. Because since everybody talks about it, and then a lot of people has told us it's like, oh, but you do have an actual product. And what does that mean? There's people just saying that, yeah, we have this into organization, but what do you have? Like, are you like pretending you have something till you have it? Are you trying to understand how to build it? So right now, I think we're in a very nice position just because we had the product and we were back there by Chainlink. So Chainlink introduced us a lot of people, and we were there kind of like moving around. We were like part of something. It's just not we were always a guest because it's not our event, But just the fact that we were a part of the build program added us a little bit more like trustworthiness. It's like, oh, okay, you're building. Oh, look at that product. Oh, you're already doing this. Oh, wow. So the conversations were more simpler, which I think is going to happen a lot more in the coming months and years because we're definitely securing a nice spot in this vertical by having not just the product, the team. There were like, I don't know, 15 people with a Brickken shirt, and they were like, "How? Like, what happened?" And it's like, "Yeah, we get invited as a team, and then the whole team goes." And they were like, "Oh yeah, another Brickken shirt. Like, what do you guys do?" There's like tokenization. It's like, "Oh wow, so how do you do this?" Like, then you just throw them like, "Hey, here, let's change. I'll show you the link. 3 minute video. You understand our product." They were like, "Damn, you guys are onto something." Like I got a lot of comments also on that. You guys are true builders, and it's like, yeah, well, that's the only thing. Why you wear a product, right? But I guess not so much in the past. So,
I think just want to add to that because
of course.
what I found the most interesting during the event as well is that the institutional use of tokenized assets is really taking up. You saw one of the main topics of discussion was between Swift and Chainlink as well, and how they can enable tokenized assets in interbanks and in between institutions. And I think there's a complementary factor to, even though that they try to optimize current processes, what we are doing is actually disrupting processes, but it's still a collaborative relationship there. Like from the growth of general organization space, that spills over back to us, and seeing institutional focus shifting more and more towards tokenization, it's benefiting the whole space, including us.
Yes. So, I have a very honest question, and I want the real answer, Felix, and I want the real answer in front of our community. Who's your hero now, Sergi or Edwin? No,
Still
I'm
serving.
kidding. Oh wow. He's gonna dump his BKN again for the link. Damn it, Felix. You broke my heart here in public. Sorry. No, but yeah, just to close this, it was just a casual AMA, guys. We did talk about some things in the event. We're gonna still be working on those and the announcements, the right timing. I mean, you guys, I know you're expecting of various things, but do know that we just never stop. We have so many things coming up. Interesting conversations is still ongoing. So we just keep building. We have a lot of things coming up on product. We're gonna start doing more AMAs, bringing some other players of the team, some other no, some other team players, giving a different approach. We foresee that it's important that we give you more insight as to the potential clients or clients that we have secured. We have a light tokenization coming up in a week, very interesting. We have a couple of other things building in the back, more privately, but just how we do or how the clients do. But yeah, um, just to finish, I would like to say that the Chainlink, we're a little bit surprised as to because I had to do a keynote on speaking. Some of you saw it probably. If not, we'll probably throw it up how we're gonna use some of the products. So it was interesting for us, or especially for me, because I'm not a technical guy, to understand that how easy they are trying to implement some things. Kind of like that's kind of like also the goal of Brickken, right? Because changing what they do, like if you're not a coder or you're not in that blockchain space, it's like what is changing? What is a link? What is an oracle? What is a proof of reserve? What is TCP? So these are very technical concepts, but somehow they're still managing through a lot of education to make it very accessible for the common man. For example, I'm a lawyer, I'm not a coder, to understand the benefits. So when I went there and did the keynote as to how we can apply some of the products on Chainlink, I one of the Chainlink candidates said like, "Oh wow, you guys are doing all of that." I was super nervous because I was like, I don't know if this is so much possible. I don't know if I'm right because I even had to sit down with the tech team and say like, "Hey, like this, can we apply it like this?" And they're like, "Yeah, we can do it." So when I was there and then I explained, some of the things just made a lot of sense. So like for example, now my favorite product is like CCIP, cross-chain interoperability, and there is like so much massive opportunities. Everybody's excited about that because you are not just existing on one chain. You can move around different chains without having to bridge. So you don't have to do so much effort as he's doing right now. I mean, you still got to work and do the coding, but just makes things simpler. And proof of reserves as a trust foundation, I found it super simpler. So I think I mean, this is not Brickken related, this is Chainlink, but I think they're doing massively. What they're doing with the build program, they're connecting us with other startups like us, kind of like, hey, you guys should check out what they're doing. I talk a really had a really cool talk with somebody doing the wallet onboarding, the account extraction, and how it's approaching the space is like we weren't talking about tech anymore. So I think there's a possibility that in the next 5 years, maybe blockchain stops saying like. I work on blockchain. It's kind of like, hey, dude, I'm doing this and this and this, and perfect. So we could connect like this because the conversations, especially when we began in 2020, were more around kind of like the blockchain base, and then we had to explain why on blockchain and why on top. And lately, I've been seeing a trend where we're not asking so much as to on what blockchain are you building? Kind of like that's so it's a very common word. And on this one, nobody asked. It was like you're doing tokenization of what assets and how you doing it. Hey, have you thought about this or what kind of investors and all that? So I was like more of product, like directly to the how you pushing it into the market and not just going into the infrastructure as to, oh, but have you looked about how many transactions per second this one does against this one or the kilobytes that you can store on the blocks? I mean, that becomes too technical and there's a space for everything. But I think right now we finally coming to understand that tech is not what it sells; it's a product, it's a need. I mean, I believe that I knew that before because I come from a Web two, very specifically high scaling SaaS, which is just basically trying to solve a need. But I'm seeing that perspective being really transferred a lot to Web three. So that was just an end thought I wanted to share with you. So I do know I have a meeting now with ambassadors. Looking forward to that, to catching up more in person. Thanks for everything that you do for us and the building together. I do see all your messages. Sorry if I'm late on some messages. It's just that my Telegram, I'm scared of answering to all the because I had to catch up. We did so many good connections. I think it was great for the team, great for our brand, and also understanding that more and more there's people that are saying like, oh, Bricken, yes, tokenization. I think we are bombarding that vertical, and we I know we have competitors, and I respect the competitors, and I think we have some good ones, but somehow we're actually managing to secure a spot, and that's actually through obviously everything that we're doing, selling, that we're community, awesome marketing team. So we just keep building. Thanks for that, and to know that we will I don't know, wait for next week. We have a live tokenization happening, so let's look forward to that to keep building in public.
A $5 billion company. It's a big one. I'm super excited about it, and we have the Key Rock thing also. A lot of product updates to shoot as well. So I look forward to showing that with you guys, and as we implement it into the sandbox, you can test it out for yourselves. It's gonna be super fun.
Yeah, amazing. So sorry, Felix, for putting you on the spot, but sometimes the director of the program needs to go, needs to go.
All
But
good.
let's do it more often like that. You're the community man, so you need to show the face because in the community will be like, "Where's Felix? Where's my rock star?" You know.
It was a
And,
long time ago, but it's always a pleasure.
yeah, and then maybe we'll bring our newest member, Rita, because she's really web too. And then she was at the event saying, "Oh, this is amazing, having so much fun." So that was positive attitude. So the next one, we'll definitely invite her. But for now, Felix, thank you very much for joining me on this quick hour. And the community, yeah, till next one.
Till next one. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Take care and talk soon.
Thank you.
Motherfucker.